Hello, and welcome to the Rooted and Rested coaching program. I am over the moon that you have chosen to join me on this program. And I just wanted to give you my own personal welcome to this space, this program, and this journey that you are about to take. There is so many outcomes that you could have from this program, and I'm over the moon that you've chosen this one and you've chosen now. And I wanted to take this tiny bit of time at the beginning before you jump in to introduce you both to myself and the program and what you can be expecting throughout this time that we have together. So first of all, my name is Natanya. I have a very varied background, but most recent, I have had my own interior design business. You might be wondering how that connects in any way to what we're doing here now. But I wanted to tell you the story of how it's absolutely actually amazing for me to see how these different threads in my life have actually been pulled together. So I've always had a real passion and vision for working with trafficking survivors, and over the years have spent a lot of time volunteering, training, working with nonprofits and charities that take care of survivors of human trafficking, women who've suffered in some way connected to that world, but never managed to make it my career. So when I started my interior design business, I was really keen to find ways that I could partner with nonprofits in that world, and ended up working with quite a few different organizations that, as part of their recovery program or aftercare, were training women in manufacturing, textiles, and I worked in the world of designing collections for nonprofits that sold homeware. So there was always a crossover and always a pull of these two different strands in life. And it was actually only when my husband sat me down several years ago and said to me, okay, it's great that you love working with trafficked women, but what is it about the trafficked women that you really like working with? And I'd never been asked this question before, and I didn't know the answer. And it was in that moment that I realized that what I was really actually fascinated by, passionate about, and interested in was trauma. And that really helped me clarify what I was doing, what I wanted to focus energy on, and how started me asking how I can connect this to my interior design business. So, when my business completely collapsed due to an international move in 2023, I ended up taking the time to decide and really think through what my next step was. And what I realized was I wanted to get some more training. Now, I was partially forced into that because I could not find work, but I took the opportunity as a moment where I might be able to add some more skills to my toolbox. And I ended up training and completing a master's in somatic trauma informed coaching with a specialism in business and leadership and neuroaesthetics. And I will expand and explain all of that to you as we go. But essentially, it brought together my two worlds. It gave me tools to work with and understand people who have completely dysregulated nervous systems. But more than that, it's about understanding trauma responses and how the body and the nervous system holds that trauma. So that was a really exciting part of the course for me. But what made it supercharged was the neuroaesthetics element, which is the study of how our environments and our surroundings impact our well-being and our nervous system. And all of a sudden, this world opened up where it was so much more holistic for me, because we operate and we function in the spaces that we live, and they have far more impact on us than we realize. So that is where this all came from. It's a combination of spending years creating spaces and homes for people that feel like they are a spa, a retreat, a sanctuary, a restful place for them to be. But alongside of that, also learning all this background of how our nervous system interacts with trauma and our spaces and how they can all work together. So this is a course or a program that is all very much focused on you auditing your world and starting to understand how you're responding to what you live in and how your body is trying to tell you things and how you can adjust so that you can live this incredibly thriving life. That is the goal at the end of this, is that you step out and feel like you can thrive. So, this program is built on 4 pillars. First of all, they spell rest, by the way. So that is the goal, rest. Restore, explore, stabilize, and thrive. And inside each of those 4 pillars, you will have an explanation video at the start of every pillar that will give you a little bit of an overview of what you can be expecting in that pillar. Each lesson or chapter, as we've called them, will contain a short teaching and a regulation video which you can implement in your daily life. You will have each week, you will have your notes for that week that will include a milestones and wins sheet that you can print off and write down whatever you want to for that week or use as a planner or a journal. You will also have a video which I have intentionally made bite size. I have done an incredible amount of work to prepare this course for you. And one of the biggest things that I kept seeing over and over again was the importance of the information being applicable and memorable. And that can only be the case if it is bite size. So please don't expect 2-hour teachings every week. You are going to get hopefully highly impacting shorter teachings with regulatory instruction that you can implement every day. So if you wanted to, you could listen to that every morning. It will be 5 to 10 minutes. You can listen to it every morning. You could listen to it a couple times a week, really try to internalize it. And hopefully that way you'll really start to embody some of these principles that we'll be learning. So that is the kind of overview that you can expect. Now, one of the biggest things and most important things that I want to emphasize about this process that you're about to start is the need to jump on to the care calls that are available to you. Now, one of the things that I sat with for a very long time was whether or not I should create a community for people to be a part of. I know a lot of online coaching programs offer a very exclusive, whether that's a Facebook group or whatever, Slack group, an exclusive community for its participants. I sat with this for a long time and came to the decision that I did not want to do that. And the reason for that is I did not want for a community to become trauma bonding and a place that needs to be moderated constantly, where people are having to be shut down because it's inappropriate or wrong advice is given, or this process and this journey can go very deep for some people, and if you allow it, maybe it can for you, and it can make a very, very big difference and can go to places you don't expect. And I feel that it's important for care to be done well, and I feel that that is not conducive to a group where everybody's in a different place, everybody's going through their stuff. I didn't want to have a space that was going to become like a place for people to like emotionally vomit over each other. So what I have done is I've created care calls where I am present and I can monitor in live time what people say. They are always very small groups and they're always very safe. So rather than having a very unmoderated group where maybe there's hundreds of people that you'll never meet, you will have available to you a very small live group that you can join at a time that's convenient for you. There's options. And you can have those conversations and ask those questions live with me and in a place that's safe and has been moderated and can be curated in real time. So I hope that clears up why I have made that decision. One of my biggest concerns and my biggest passion points with this program is taking care of people well. That is always my vision, my heart. And so I would encourage you, please, please do make sure that you jump on your calls and make the most of those, because that is actually sometimes the place where the most progress can happen. You can start noticing things about how you respond, what your body may be doing or saying or trying to tell you, and to have that sounding board and that place where you can ask that question, why have I always got tense jaw? Why am I not sleeping? Why these things are things that we can unpack together and really delve into. And there's always the option for extra one-on-one calls if you need to or want to along the way. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of what you can be expecting in this program. It is a very unique program because of my background with these various different areas. And I think finding the crossover of how these two can work together has, in my opinion, has proven itself with clients in terms of addressing everything, addressing their world as a whole. Little tweaks and little changes that come with greater understanding can really transform life for people. So I would encourage you to try and implement something little every week, whether it's a regulation technique, whether it's an adjustment in your home, whether it is paying better attention to your breathing when you walk into the office, or whatever it is. Take the opportunity to make some sustainable changes and jump on a call and tell me all about it. I can't wait to hear how you're doing.